How do I explain that? I think in its essence, it's between here and there, between me and you, between the earth and heaven, there's an in-between space. It's like a third presence, and also between light and dark, all the opposites of the universe. And it's when we move into this in-between space, could sometimes also be referred to as a transitional space, change becomes possible. Because in the integration of the opposites, in the third in-between space, think of a relationship. In between you and your husband, you and your partner, you and your loved one and your friend, if there's a third presence where both of you actually put all the good bits of yourself into a space where you're willing to change, a third thing happens and change becomes possible. So hovering is a space of transition. It's forever a process, like a flowing river. You can try and get onto the bank of the river, but then you will not be in the flow of things. But when you're in the flow of things, change is always possible. And there's a beautiful story that I like, that Richard Bach wrote a long time ago in a book called Illusions. I'd like to share with you. One day, long time ago, there was all these wonderful little particles at the bottom of a river. And the only thing they knew was to hold on tight to the rock where they were born. And obviously it was a boring life and it was hard to hold on. And, you know, the river was sometimes dry and sometimes there were like floods. But there was one little particle that thought, no, what will happen if I let go? So one day, he plucked up the courage. Courage is a very important word in this whole transitional space. And he just floated up to the surface. And all his friends were laughing at him and saying, oh, you silly, silly, silly being. What's going to happen to you now? And then they never saw him again for a long, long time, until one day they looked up. And there he was, hovering in the water above them. And they looked up and they said, could that be the Messiah?